a vampire stronghold.
That's kind of cool.
Well, we are up to session number 37.
Way!
And we're level 3.
Way!
And you last session you just witnessed Willie getting put in his place with a look by Shillelagh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah!
He gave him a withering stare and he backed off.
I remember that.
Yeah, Will was trying to be intimidating to Shillelagh, and Shillelagh's like, fuck off. Will is like, yes ma'am.
Because Doozle was going up to say hi to Shillelagh because, you know, he likes Shillelagh and Willie was being Willie, so she's just like, yeah.
Shadow's Elven?
Yep.
She's Elven.
She's Elven.
That's the Goblin hater, right?
That would
Yeah.
explain why I got my
Quest is
latest
hiding
feat.
behind Kroll.
Okay, so have you introduced your characters again, starting with him?
I'm Doozle. I am now level 3.
And Puppy's now level 3 properly.
Yay!
And still a puppy!
Still a puppy!
He might be a puppy all the way to the end of the campaign if she doesn't get the right feats.
Yeah.
30% dog. Right now.
20% cat.
50% what the fuck is that?
Yeah, so I think what the next advancement is level 10?
No, next advancement is level 6 to
Oh,
make it
level 6.
mature. Level 10 to make it specialized so it can use its special ability.
That's
and then I
right.
think it's like level 12 or 14 to allow it to have an advanced trait.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 levels off being able to make him bigger.
He'll be an adult if you take the feeding 3 levels.
Yes. Does
So
that mean
the
I
puppy's
have to
not an
start
adult
calling him
ability.
Wolfie? Because he's not a puppy anymore, he'll be
You
Wolfie.
can
No,
call him a
puppy.
puppy as long as
He's
you're
still puppy.
Still puppy.
He's still puppy.
Still
It's a
puppy.
long time for a wolf mature.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. And the thing is, he doesn't mature if you don't take the feed.
Yeah. What are you not feeding him?
Yeah, pretty much.
So he's the gymnast version of the puppy.
Children, apparently.
Listen, feeding it meat at least. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, as I said, children, apparently.
Why isn't it growing?
Enough
Um,
veggies.
Probably not enough children.
yes. And I now have I get knocked down, but I get up again. So that'll be fun.
Pissing the life away.
It's a shame there wasn't a my arm breaks, but it refixes itself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, slightly
it's not
disappointed
Chumbawamba
there.
because you don't drink a whiskey drink, you don't drink a vodka drink, you don't drink a lager drink, or a cider drink.
No, I drink Orcish Rock
And you don't sing
Guide.
songs that remind you of the good times.
I sing Orcish songs? Does that count? An Orcish whiskey?
Reminds you
So you're not
Times.
Chumbawamba at all.
Only slightly, you know, as much as the dog, 30% dog, she's 30% Chumbawamba.
30% Chumbawamba.
Yeah, because
You-
I can only do that once.
You're not even
once per
30%,
day.
you're 10%. You're literally just the chorus of Chumbawamba.
Yeah. I get knocked out, and I may get up again.
And once per day you'll get up again.
Once per day I'll get up again, yep.
According to the Lantern Lost, there's some...
Even then, someone will keep you down
So
though.
I get knocked down, I get up again. The next one might keep me down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, then the next time I go down I'm at dying 2. And with my dice...
Dead.
Okay, so, Stefan.
Okay, I'm currently playing in this city the Green Arrow. Because secret hush hush.
No, we're not in this city anymore.
You're in 2 cities.
We're in 2 cities.
Yes.
Oh, we
You
just
get to go
started
between the 2 cities.
in Magnamar.
You're currently in Magnamar.
Oh, well then I'm the Green Dervish.
It's like, who am I today?
It's not who am I, it's where am I today.
Yes,
Oh, where am
it's
I
where
today?
am I?
No, sorry, I'm getting confused with next week of who am I.
Yeah.
Friday D&D is who am I. Tuesday D&D is where
Where am I?
I don't know where we are.
It's never how am I.
Yeah.
That might be one of the
Or
other
what
games.
am I?
I think the answer's usually not well to how am I.
No,
that's just the
that's
party.
Juicer. Crawl, I broke my arm again.
Yes.
When you go down, don't expect Crawl to pick you up, okay?
I have to start charging more.
She can just get a slap on the ass from
I thought
Harry.
you were an archer. You're supposed to
Get up.
charge people.
Yes, you charge people an arm and a leg.
Yes.
You haven't paid Snap. But you're supposed to fix it.
Become
Wait
ex-
for it to pay.
become
You
expert.
pay for it, I'm reclaiming it.
No. If you don't pay it, I'm setting parry on you, and then everybody pays.
Yeah.
Whether you sit parry on him or not.
Yeah.
You'll have little parries running around sometimes.
I'm not the group's healer apparently, so that's the thing.
You're the group bone break setter.
Yeah. I'm bone corrector.
The bone corrector.
The bone corrector, I guess. Sounds more of a necromancer title, but there you go.
Again,
That
I
was
think
a
you're
weird
getting
movie.
confused with next week.
So what's wrong with this bone? I don't really mind.
Yep.
It's fixed now. I'm the corrector. But why did you correct it? It wasn't right.
Still can't walk though.
That's your problem. I fixed it.
The bone's fine. Your leg might be stuffed, but your bone's fine. And then we have Morgan.
Hello, I play Quest, the Goblin Bard. Looking a little bit more orcish these days. Currently hiding behind the green arrow to avoid the evil elf.
Yeah, that's right.
No, she tolerates you, I think.
Yeah, she tolerates you now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep a low profile, as they say. Make sure she keeps on tolerating me before she does the other thing.
I like how he picks the person who's about the same size as him.
Yes, but you're covered in green. I blend in.
And then we have Josh.
Hi, I am playing Parry Hotter, the buffest wizard known to man.
Just man, no other races, just man.
Well, no, the buffest wizard. I wouldn't say in the universe because there's going to be some sort of character that will absolutely whip my ass. But I am the buffest wizard in this realm right now.
Oh, that'd be amazing if there's an NPC that came to, I'm the buffest wizard of orcs. It's like, whoa, okay.
I'm the buffest wizard of halfling.
Saving.
I need to make a wizard orc now. That would be hilarious.
Parish should start
Okay.
the buffest wizard club.
So
I'm so buff. I managed to take out a monk.
So during your downtime, the other group wanted to interact with you a little bit, so they could do stuff. And out of amusement, I believe that Kangasero, the half-elf druid, I believe it is human elf, wanted to go visit the druids out near Riddleport. So he was going to go through you guys and do so, at which point I had him interact with the local food source and figure out that's what you do with bloodies, because that stops him becoming undead, because he has this fear of undead. And so now he's been going around asking everyone who's died, are we going to cook that now? Because he returned to the other group with a book on how to prepare humans.
Yep, he's seen the kobolds.
That's great.
So I thought you wouldn't mind that as the only one who made it through the portal. The other ones didn't. I said had to get your agreement, but that one I thought you'd enjoy the
Yeah,
fallout
that's
of that one.
funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So just so you know, the king died in Corvosa, and meeting the queen, that question came up.
Can we eat the queen?
No, when are we preparing the king?
Oh,
Great.
awesome.
Which one's Corvosa?
That's the one. That's the southern city. The one that is Cheliax.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, they probably don't mind it.
Yeah, don't worry.
And it was on the day the king died too.
Oh, gotta get them while they're fresh.
Yeah, where's not what?
Could have been a lost in translation. Can we prepare for burial or prepare for dinner?
The player had actually asked, did his character know this was wrong or not? I said, it's up to you. And none of the other people have told you it's wrong, and he knows that's the only source of meat around Riddleport that is not from the sea. And considering half the stuff from the sea are dead sailors anyway.
Yeah, we got lucky by getting eel one day thanks to Percy, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
They are well known as eel catchers. One of the few things they don't seem to have any problems doing.
Right. Put him in a pie until he's yummy. Put him in a pie until he's
We should
yummy.
get
Put him in
Perseus
a
to
pie
get the
until he's
official
yummy.
for us.
Early in the morning.
So we can have a special team up with Goblin.
Yeah, I think we did because they killed one of the eels when.
Yeah, we can make a regular special.
They prefer to, I think, like do
Please, would you like a slice for
recreational
one gold,
eel
please?
hunting
Would you like a
mode.
slice for one gold, please?
Meaning
Early in
They
the
let it go.
morning.
So other things you found out from the Friday group is they've been investigating things in Magnamar. They managed to burn a building down.
Great.
It was blamed on Pimlico and fire magic, which is not too unusual.
Yeah, I was about to say, should we be surprised by
It's
this?
not unusual to build.
Though
to build
Baleth
a
has now
house.
been referred to as Pimlico by locals.
Okay.
Because, well, someone burned it down with fire, and Pimlico had a reputation for burning things down with fire, so he's sort of happy and not happy at the same time.
Fair enough.
A crow in the city has been got a bounty on its head for ripping out the left eye of children. Just the left eye.
Just like that. Yep.
And how much is this?
50 gold
Wow.
for
Okay.
a crow. For a crow, raven, blackbird. That most people don't really get a good look at it, and the main person who does get a good look at it generally a bit scarred by it, and I'll describe it that well. As it was 8 to 10-year-olds who lost the eye.
That'll be alright.
If I do copies, I don't want anything.
Would people be able to help bring in some bags?
Yep, we can do
And
that.
so I might pause this while we go get the bags in, and then we'll pick it up when we get back.
You want a
So
coffee?
we'll go to. I have a full screen.
If you-
I'm back again.
If you wanted, like, because that's what some of the party goal was supposed to be towards upgrading items. So if you needed like that 10 or 15 additional gold, then just
It's 10 silver to roll, right?
Then silver for gold, yeah. You don't have a lot of gold.
I've got 50 gold pieces and 250 something silver pieces.
as I said, like
So all up, you've got
75.
35 worth of gold.
Hmm?
So you could have your banjo enchanted to your +1 to performances.
I'll figure out if I've done that next session. I'm gonna have to argue with him about whether he's gonna do it.
is it the party goal? The point of kind of building some extra money up was to upgrade items.
But the argument is, I don't want to use magic. It's cheating.
Oh,
I don't need magic to be a good bard.
Oh right.
Says the bard who uses
Says the bard who
magic.
uses magic.
My music makes magic. I don't need magic to make my music to make more magic.
Though last session you did learn how to be very discordant.
Yeah, you know how to play awfully well.
It's like Friday.
I make bad sound good.
And so yes, you're meeting up with Shillelagh. You're basically having a catch up with her while Quest is pretending he's not there.
Yep.
And Kroll is wondering why someone's giving heavy breathing noises behind him.
and it's
And
not
it's- and-
it's not puppy.
Yeah, and it's not Puppy.
It's Parry. Sorry. So sorry. Sorry.
Seeing as I've healed them before, I think I know what the hidden breathing sounds like, but hopefully.
It's
Yes,
too,
the other
it's
kind
too
of heavy.
creepy.
Oh, the other kind, okay. Right.
But you haven't had to heal Quest that often.
No, actually. The times I technically have healed Quest, it wasn't me.
Well, you
No,
did do
you-
his hand recently.
You've done a few bits.
It was Willie.
Willie claimed the credit a few times. Yes.
It's only after you tried to throw me to a flesh column. You've healed me a few times before then.
Is that what you said? You're bouncing, right?
No, that's dudes that you bounce, right?
I remember. You were dragging me away, you hit me, then I woke up and there was a flesh column.
Not your fault at all.
Did I deserve it? Probably. Mad? Yes.
and you have a good memory?
Yes.
Well, Quest writes things down.
While he's being dragged away.
While I'm unconscious, he's still writing.
That was when Puppy ran into the wall.
Yes.
Because Puppy can't see in the dark.
Yep.
It's funny because like I have low light, but you would think a wolf. Actually, no, the wolf has low light as well, but it was very dark in there.
But you had no light source.
No, oh, that's right.
You're in total
We were in
darkness.
total darkness. That's
But
right.
yes, I've got low light.
Think. No, sorry. I thought we had some light.
No, you had people who took the ability to see in the dark, and then provided no light source because they had the magic.
Yeah, right. I
Okay.
remember that. Good times.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shilelu last session told you that she'd tracked down where Mika had gone,
Oh, okay.
as far as she can tell, and then she came looking for you because she needs some help.
Okay.
She came for you specifically because she knows you've got a goblin. She says, looking at Quest.
Technically looking at me, but yeah.
I don't think you want to argue.
Well, if he's an orc, he's no use to me, and I can put him down.
No, he's a goblin. He's just
Okay.
like, he likes being...
I have use for a goblin right now. I don't have use for a miniature orc.
I will be whatever you need me to be.
Don't recommend using that kind of phrasing on... Never mind.
You need to be a pincushion.
You do what you want to do.
You do you.
I'll be whatever you want me to be. Okay, target practice it is.
She needs you to infiltrate the goblin encampment at Thistletop on the coast, where the goblin armies have amassed.
Armies?
Yes,
Plural?
yes.
How many?
More than she can take out.
Wow, if she's asking me, it must be 30.
It's more than Quest.
Legions.
She says there's about 10,000 goblins there right now.
We are Legion. We are one.
How do you spell her name? S-H...
I think it's
Spell phonetically, and then
Shilelu is Shalelu.
OLE. I've got LA. I've been writing LA.
I can't pronounce
Shalalu.
I have trouble with my pronunciations. And her last name is Andosana.
Yeah, see? You. Considering he's been asleep this whole time. Yeah.
And just so you know, that is again a picture of what she looks like.
Want me to change it?
Yep.
You just want me to change it so you
That is our Elfie.
Ah, that's cool.
No,
That's
not
very
happening
cool. I
yet.
love
See,
bow.
this is me changing it.
Yep. And that's also her attitude when she's looking at most of the people. She
It's
doesn't
like, I
really
hate you
smile
all.
much, unless of course she's hunting goblins.
Yeah.
Because her general demeanor is I hate you all. From memory.
Very much so because you stopped her killing the hobgoblin.
Yeah, it's refrigerated.
Yes.
Which is along the coast near Sandpoint. Miko's been gone for quite a few months now.
Yeah, because we told her before we went to Riddleport, and that's been like, what, 4 months?
Yeah,
It's been
so
about that, yes.
what's going on with her?
Well, it took her that long to get it out of goblins. She's not very good at interrogating goblins. They tend to freeze.
Right, so she's being held at this camp now.
She's been held at this fortification called Thistletop,
Oh.
with 10,000 goblins between the only rope bridge across and the actual encampment.
Hang on a second.
Miko is being held there.
There's 10,000 goblins in a fortress with only
No.
one road bridge.
They're not in the fortress. They're before the rope bridge. The armies are there. The armies are meeting at one of the goblin fortifications, which is called Thistletop.
Right.
So they literally got 10,000 goblins between her and the bridge to get to the encampment.
Right.
What's the clan called?
That one.
goblin. Sorry.
Goblin Planet.
I think
Goblin
it's
Planet is
actually the
They always
Thistletop
do
goblins because they've named themselves after the location. I think. But all clans are represented, including your clan, she says.
I think we're both just
So
like
don't get
stretching our feet out.
No, recognition might actually get you through. You would think a goblin would work
And then
against
just like pull and stuff as well.
Last time I checked, I've got a bounty on my head by all the goblins.
All of them or just
Most of the goblin chiefs put a bounty on my head. But you can only claim one of them, so just was.
Is that because of your family, or is that another reason?
It's because I can write.
That too.
because his family is known for writing. Literally,
Evil,
right.
according to goblins.
So is that because they want to kill you or they fear you?
But at Thistletop, they can't claim the bounty.
Well, that's fun.
Because it's not against the dictates of Lamastu, the mother of monsters, who is presiding over that region. One of the goddesses.
That's true.
You're letting the goblins go first? Really? You're unimpressed by your $15 toy?
Yes, it's not a cheap thing
Hello.
that he can throw
Do you
around.
know I forewent other things so I could buy this for you?
You should spray it with catnip and he'll love it.
Here we go. It's got feathers. You like feathers.
They're like, no, I want to be
No, I
paid
don't
now.
like feathers. Not today.
Ooh.
10.
No, it's because you bought me a $15 toy. I'm not gonna like it for 5 months.
Is this quest doing math? 1, 2,
He's clean.
No,
3,
count the zeros.
4.
How many zeros is there in 10,000?
Ooh, what was that
Seven.
carry on?
One.
Actually bring Goblin Book over.
1 0.
It's more interesting
1,000.
now than you know it's got feathers.
10,000 goblins.
Very
Have
cute
you
way.
done
Way
a
you.
$10 toy for it?
Us.
Hey, you're very cute wagging your tail there, buddy.
Ridge. Alright.
Here we go. Ready?
What you get for me?
Nope.
Okay, see if we got
He
any other
watched.
goblins.
As I said, it will take him 5 months before he starts playing with
And
it.
so yes,
I think
she
we're gonna
wants
lie down.
you specifically to take the other people with you to go get back Amiko, because if she shows up there, she doesn't think you'll be able to sneak past 10,000 goblins. 1,000 goblins maybe, but 10,000 goblins?
How big is the encampment? Like,
It's the biggest encampment of goblins she's ever seen.
and there's no other way around, I'm guessing, to this place that she thinks Amiko's being held.
There are creatures in the water, and they're bigger than sharks.
Oh, so they're kind of like the eels in real
And
forward.
she calls them bunyips.
Yes.
Onions.
Can she give us a rough layout?
Ooh.
Or better yet,
Charm.
a complete layout?
She's never been across the bridge, mainly because any words that a tall elf with a bow is showing up, they cut the bridge.
Of course they do. Is this a tall bridge over a chasm?
That's the bridge separating an island from the cliff face, where the encampments are, where all the goblins are.
Oh, so there's no
So this
other
is like
way.
a plateau, a moat, and then a...
It's basically a small little stone sticking out of the ocean, which has the building on it,
Right.
which is where she's been able to track Amiko to.
Okay.
But I mean, if the goblins get stuck on an island because they cut the rope bridge and don't eat themselves.
Not all the goblins are there. They have 10,000 on one side and a small number at the actual fortifications.
And goblins can afford to lose a few of themselves rebuilding the bridge.
They can build bridges?
Someone had to build the first one.
You need
I
to
can
open your
almost
can.
guarantee
I'm
that
gonna get
elves
someone
aren't
whose
going
hands
there to
probably
build
don't
bridges
hurt
for
when she opens a
goblins.
can.
No, but I'm surprised goblins
Sorry?
don't build
Your
bridges in
hands
the
don't
first
hurt when you
place.
open a can, right?
That is correct.
I don't suppose whoever owns this keep is on my list of people to serve notice to.
It is not actually, because apparently this was not listed in your pile of stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Apparently, you don't have to evict them.
That's kind of a shame, and
Worry at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the edict against killing me won't spread as far as surfing notice. My luck can only go so far.
And Shillelagh wasn't willing to go to the Hell Knights for assistance, considering last time she spoke to them, she shot them.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
And she does not think that they would extend any courtesy of assistance to someone who actually put 5 arrows through their leader.
Only 5. She's losing her time.
Oh, she was showing restraint.
She was running away at the time.
Ah, fair enough. Yep. Okay.
Because that's when they were chasing her out of Sandpoint, right? Yeah.
She usually just 8 before they hit the ground.
I'm willing to help, but I'll need my coterie to decide if we're actually going.
Well, she's used to one arrow, one person,
Yeah, so when they didn't go down.
and 5 arrows and still going.
Fair enough.
Did the person actually die? That's amazing.
This must have been a hobgoblin of some kind.
Either that or they're higher level than Shillelagh.
Goblin Knights are her favoured foe, so she does extra damage to Goblin Knights.
So they're either like a ridiculously high level.
Yeah.
So she's happy to travel with you close to where the goblins are and send you on your way. But if she travels with you, she's afraid you'll all be massacred.
Yep.
But she's happy to come along and see if it happens.
That sounds
Watch
alright.
safely from a distance.
Well, if there's a massacre, she's sure she'll make it out.
Yeah, well, tell her tales.
Because she did hear that there were some other people working with the society here who also come from Sandpoint, so she met up with someone by the name of Cordar, she says.
I don't know her.
It's the fighter from the Wednesday. He's also half elf.
So we should know him or of him.
So they're not important enough for me to recognise. I don't know them.
That's okay. Each one of them is very disparaging about their other party members. Anytime you get one of them alone, they tell you tales of horror of each of the other party members.
Great.
And though you would have heard about Pimwinkle and his harem, and he also got a title of Sir Pimwinkle in both Magnemar and Corvosa as part of his wedding gift. As he was married by the Church of Esmordigan.
Of course he was.
Presided over by someone by the name of Sir Hank.
Are we rolling to see who Hank is?
I mean, we could.
This is the god, right?
Is it a religion roll?
So this is Peter's character from the previous campaign actually presiding over it, so yes.
How often does Hank come out of the woodwork?
This is the only time he's ever come out of the woodwork as far as anyone knows, because this is before he actually became a god, but he's gone back in time.
Got a 22 on religion.
Don't know
Who's
her
Hank?
either.
You have no idea who Hank is. He's probably just the one of the high clerics of this god Asmodeus.
Yeah.
The Church of Esmordigan. It's not like they're important.
But they have a bigger following now. And apparently they have their own temple in Sandpoint, having taken over the cathedral.
Here they're making money hand over fist too.
And so yes, she's happy to get you out there quickly. She says you can ride, can't you?
Right.
I can tie you to a horse if that would help.
Isn't it part of our training as Pathfinder?
Yes.
She doesn't mind how many ropes she uses to tie you if that will make you feel better.
I mean, we don't have to have full-size horses, right?
She just looks at you. Not blinking. waiting for you to, flinch.
I don't know. Do you have to do a will save at that point?
I don't know, the last few times we had horses, Quest did get strapped to the underside of them.
I thought we strapped you. Oh.
We did, but the ropes came slightly loose.
But he was sort of tied around the middle, and then he rolled around.
Oh, that's great.
But he didn't have someone like Shillelagh who's good with knots.
Just this one around your neck, nice and tight.
If she didn't have to keep you alive for the task she wanted. So on the way back...
Yeah.
You're right with someone else.
I was gonna say, is doubling up on a horse such a thing?
It is something you can do, yes.
Okay, well,
So can't I just ride Puppy?
he's like, okay,
Puppy's the same size you are.
Yeah.
he's technically the same size, but also
Yeah, that means I'm not
not.
scared of him.
And Puppy might actually get different ideas.
Yeah. If he wasn't if he was bigger than me, I'd be scared of him too.
Well, so in terms of size, is it sort of the same like D&D where like you're a small size but you can be like the big size of small?
It can be.
Yeah. So I presume that's kind of what he's like. He's like on the bigger scale. of
Especially when his fur goes out everywhere.
And then he kind of looks like a drowned rat when he's wet, but that's fine.
So she gets horses the size of Clydesdales.
Do I have my warhorse?
You do have your warhorse here.
Yay!
It was stabled here.
Yeah, I know.
It knows Shillelagh quite well.
I know, because she talks to him.
She-
I really need to learn
Speak with animals.
speak with animals. Is that something I could learn in downtime?
Possibly.
I might just do that later.
Okay. And I'm not sure if it's a ritual in this one or not, because it might be different rituals. Because the ritual spells are not normal spells.
Yeah, I can talk to you about that later. Because I presume we've had enough downtime to do a few things.
You pretty much had the equivalent of, I think it was 3 or 4 months, where you were also doing a day job.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you also got to see the fun with King Gisera. As he got it seems to like the idea of eating people so they don't come back as undead.
Yes.
And he seemed to like Harry's house because he seems to strip off in Harry's house.
And
Because all the photos of people are naked too, he gets me.
yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of not surprised, but at the same time, I'm scarred enough from Perry's visions.
And don't worry, most of his visions you actually see in his house on the wall.
Yeah.
You get reminded of them fairly often.
I try not to. I look at the carpet because that's probably the only spot that doesn't have stuff on it.
You sure?
I hope. Because I'm probably stuff on the ceiling, so I
Yeah.
can't look at the ceiling.
And they have-
Carpet might be safe.
And I'm sure they have rugs done in the style.
They can't have the whole house with that, right? Right?
It's what they were known for. The place that didn't have any of those was the basement. Though it does have a mangy sock hanging over the handle.
I
Yeah.
think it was mangy when we left it.
It was mangy when you left it. It's been mangy the entire time.
Yeah, this is Perry's special sock, don't forget.
Okay, so yes, so she gets a bunch of Clydesdales size horses. Your big war horse is of equivalent size, and they're big enough that she can actually sit on them without touching the ground. The normal size horses, her feet were reasonable because elves are very tall.
Oh. Do I need to make a stat block for the horse as well?
At some point.
Okay.
So yes, and you end up heading off into the wilderness. At which point I need to check something. And you hear strange noises while traveling.
Before we get to that point, is there a small enough saddle for Quest and Kroll, or are they tied to the horses?
I believe either of you are doubling up with someone,
Right.
or you're the equivalent of in a saddlebag.
I'm not riding in a saddlebag.
I'm not opposed to the saddlebag idea.
See?
As long as I can get out of it.
Okay, so
It's like a
we'll
full
put you
body-
in a saddlebag, and I can pony up with Crawl.
That's fine.
He's in a harness which is strapped around the front of the horse's chest. And he is riding along playing his banjo like a Dwarforia.
Hearing the breeze. Having this whole montage as travelling.
Yep.
So the strange noises we can hear is Quest.
Oh, so much sense.
A
So much
furious
sense.
vexation.
Playing awfully.
So while you're travelling over the 4 days it's taking to get there, because Shilelu is going off the main road, doesn't want to be seen travelling with a goblin.
Yep.
And plus she says it's the most direct way. And you wake up to probably the about 100 feet out from where you encamped. There's just this line of hooves going around the encampment. Hoof prints.
Hmm.
Wait, wouldn't we have had someone on watch?
Presumably.
But no one heard it.
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
Hoof prints.
That are burnt into the ground.
Oh,
Into the
burnt.
ground. Have we seen
Right.
stuff like this before?
You haven't. Unless you travelled with
We have.
Duzar to Magnamar previously. On horseback.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen this before.
Yeah. Dooza's a little lighter coloured this morning after seeing that.
Yeah, and Puppy doesn't want to go out anywhere.
Hmm.
Puppy's basically staying right by your side the entire time you've been there. His fur's, puffier than normal.
Great.
And he seems to be looking in different directions as if he's hearing things. Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing I can do, but yeah, it's just like, yep, great. This is happening again. We're not anywhere near Sandpoint at the moment. Go away.
Actually, between Magnamar and Thistletop, you pass Sandpoint.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Thistletop's on the Sandpoint coast.
It's on the other side of Sandpoint from Magnamar.
Oh, I thought we were going. Oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. Damn it.
And you're actually passing through the Devil's home territory.
Okay, I thought we were going the other way. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes more sense now. But yeah, so Dooz is a little bit not as green as usually is.
So while you're travelling, Shilelu tells you that the Goblin forces that attacked Sandpoint when you were there last time are only about maybe 5% or less of the goblins who have amassed to come at them this time. She doesn't know why all the goblins of Varisia have gathered. But that's why she's decided to enlist you.
Right.
The
She-
goblin,
she
the
didn't say she was
only
asking
goblin
you.
with a bounty on
Just
his
said she
head.
was enlisting you.
Yep.
Because she found out that any grievances against goblins has been waived for this mass. And goblin allies are welcome. So, as long as you're a goblin, and the others recognize you as a goblin, you can walk in with people other than her. Though you might want to cover the half-elf's ears.
Forgot to grab it. Not bow.
Yeah, what? Where?
Anyone who shows elven heritage will also be seen with suspicion.
I'm a dwarf.
Kroll has hair, right?
Why, you gonna shave me?
I wouldn't be able to plait your hair so it covers your ears.
I don't think our relationship has reached this point.
distraction to make things easier for you to get in there.
I'll still knock on the front door.
There is no door.
Well, makes
Yep.
it easier.
Not where all the campsites are. You got to get through all the encampments first.
But if
And
you want to
she-
go get shot at,
Oh no, she was going to do the shooting. Don't worry, she's sure it won't hurt much.
oh, you're gonna shoot us. Actually, that might help.
What?
Well, I thought she was gonna shoot the goblins. That would just be very suspicious if we showed up while they were getting shot at. But if we're getting shot at, it just like improves our cover, right?
You know, she generally has a habit of not wanting to miss. Like, it's very hard to her not to purposely miss.
Yeah, if we're going by Kroll's standard of shooting and applying it to Shalelu, then yeah.
Right.
Like,
Not missing just helps
I might
more.
be good, but she's like quadruple times
Yeah,
my
right. Well, if you manage to run in here and you're not hit, it's also very suspicious. Getting hit just helps you cover. Alright, I'll take his.
Why am I already worried?
I'm more concerned we're gonna have get on arrival with our friend.
Well, you do know because she needs him. He's the only one who's currently safe in the group.
Yeah, but she didn't state if she needed him dead or alive to get into the group.
Well, you didn't need him alive to get out, just alive to get in.
Yeah, slight distinction there. I thought we already established that though.
Should have brought a short bow. I forgot to buy one.
You could have bought one. You had the time. You had the downtime.
Oh, yeah,
Which
okay.
means I'm gonna get my crossbow back.
Because I can't. I wanted a short bow because I can't use longbow on horseback.
Would I have had time to get my non-lethal bolts made up?
Yes.
Cool.
Plenty of time.
Now I can just brain people.
I need to ask my question. Nope, not dead.
Got a question for you, and I'll ask it from 60 feet away. Does this hurt?
That's all suspicious.
Wrap a
at all,
note
right?
around it. Tink. Boom. Wakes up in the morning. Does this hurt?
Just out of curiosity, is there listed anywhere like elven weapons, or is it just a thing you add to?
So Elven Weapons has a certain items have the Elven property.
Yeah. 'cause
Plus,
there's
I'd
only,
also say also anything that's in the Elven Weapon Training.
like,
So Elven, there's a special feat called Elven Weapon Training.
yeah, which I have.
I'd also put those items down as Elven Weapons for that purpose.
Okay, alright.
Because they give you bonuses when using them.
Yeah.
So if they're only going to give it to a couple of specialty items, but list other items in the same feat, then I'm basically going to say the other items are also listed.
Yeah, because there's only like 3 orc weapons.
Yeah.
No, 2 orc weapons. It's the dagger and the neck split off.
But I think when you get Orc Weapons Training, you get a few other items as well.
Do I?
I think you do.
Should be like long swords and great axes.
Yeah.
When I look at
And
the
great clubs.
thing specifically, while we're talking about stuff for that.
Because I just took the standard great axe. If there was an orc option, I probably would have had that.
No, so if it includes the great axe in the orcish weapon training, you get the bonuses with the great axe.
So Orc Weapon familiarity. You are trained with the Falchion and Great Axe, as well as other things. So the Falchion and the Great Axe are considered Orc weapons for that purpose as well.
Okay, so
That was in. That would have been instead of your Frosty, unless you've already got the orc weapon.
no, that's where I had originally taken the orc weapon familiarity. This is why I've taken Ancestral Paragon to take Orc Ferocity.
Oh, okay, so you've got both.
So my great axe should have had the orc.
For you, it's considered an Orc weapon.
Mhm.
If another Orc doesn't have Orc weapon familiarity, it's not an Orc weapon.
Right. So should it where it's got like sweep, because my other 2, the knuckle dagger and the neck splitter, both have orc trade.
For you, just put in the word Orc.
Orc,
as
yeah,
well.
okay.
because of orc weapon familiarity. That's what I've been saying. The same with the elf. With the elf weapon familiarity, just give it the trait elf. And if anything says elf weapon, you can count that as an elf weapon. It may not be officially by the rules in how they do it, but it makes the feat just that much more nicer.
Feat specifies
So
that you
it's-
get bonuses with it, right? You get bonuses using this weapon.
I think because normally I wouldn't be trained in the great axe.
you gain training in them,
Right.
Yeah.
and you gain access to all uncommon orc weapons.
Which is where I get the buckle dagger
And
the
for
next
you,
skill.
martial orc weapons are simple weapons, and advanced orc weapons are martial weapons.
And I'm
so-
trained all of those.
And so, if you gain an advancement in simple weapons, that applies to any of those weapons that were considered martial weapons beforehand,
Correct.
but not uncommon martial
Yeah.
weapons.
At the moment, I'm just trained in everything because
That has gone up.
it hasn't gone up yet.
All good.
But yeah, otherwise, ordinarily, I wouldn't be trained with the great axe. I don't think.
Because amusingly, the 5th level version, Orc Weapon Carnage, also calls out the Falchion and the Great Axe. So instead of having to call it out each time, they should just say these are also Orc weapons for the purposes as such. It simplifies the language.
Yeah.
So the intent is there, just the language is not.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that causes a lot of arguments with people.
I just didn't know that. I knew I gained the training with the great axe with it. I didn't realize that it gave it the orc trait as well. But that makes sense.
It just simplifies things if you give it the Orc trait.
So is it a name or does it actually give you a mechanical thing?
No, so like where you've got like.
There are other things that give you bonuses for anything with the Orc trait.
Right.
So it's like
And-
sweep orc or forceful orc sweep.
So instead of then having to go and name every weapon that's not got the Orc trait, you just say give the item the Orc trait, and then everything that then gives a bonus to something with the Orc trait, you don't have to then list every item
That
that's
makes more
not got the
sense.
Orc trait.
Okay. Yeah.
So like
And
that's
because that's how the
kind
rules
of how
do
it
it
is.
currently, is it lists every item that doesn't have the trait also gets the bonus.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'd just tag each of those weapons with the race as well.
It stops it being really messy because there are only a couple of things that are specifically Orc,
Yeah.
and then everything else is you get this bonus because you've taken the feat.
But it's also like if I were like an elven shortbow, it would have to be made in elven style, and that's something you can't just walk into a smith's tower with an elven shortbow. You'd have to.
No, at that point, I think I'd put another column in. Just says heritages, orc, elf, orc, goblin, goblin, elf.
It would be better if they did, but they didn't
Yeah.
take that part. Okay, so yes, in the distance you can see the wall of smoke. Literally, it's a wall of smoke across the horizon, and she
Wow.
says that's the goblin campfires.
great.
Looks like something like about 6 mile long.
Jesus.
Well, she did say there were a lot of goblins here.
But still, like actually seeing it is pretty impressive.
This is why she doesn't get too close, because she doesn't have enough arrows. And she did go through 20 quivers last time she came out here.
20. Jesus.
That's.
No, she can run faster than them. And when she puts down their mounts,
It's about
makes it harder
200
for them to
arrows,
catch up.
roughly.
Yeah, because they have the they're not wolves. They're
Wargs.
wolves.
They do have wolves and wargs. They also have other things as well. They have air, land, and sea-based mounts, as well as things that travel on the ground.
Great.
Because you've got goblins from all over the region have come to this one location. And she says the reason she knows Amiko is still alive is they haven't gone to war yet. She's one of their sacrifices.
Right.
Once they've made their sacrifices, then they'll all march on all cities of man.
Great.
So, just to clarify, what are our jobs? What's the priority?
Amiko.
Miko is our job.
To get her out alive, I'm guessing, and get ourselves out alive too as a bonus.
That's the secondary priority.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think she cares about us.
No, that's what I'm saying for us. For her, it's a bonus.
She gets to kill us later.
I think she'd rather save the arrows.
Well, she promises not to try to kill you if you get Amiko out.
That's handy.
Can you also promise not to kill us if we get Amiko out?
Well, she'd have to try first, and if she promises not to try, she won't succeed. But if she tries, she generally succeeds. There's only been a couple of instances where she hasn't, and one of those is miniature hobgoblin that she's been meaning to rectify that with. Margot.
Yeah. No, I know exactly who she was talking about.
Okay, I think I can accept that.
He can be the one that got away.
Anybody else got things they want to clarify, question?
I mean, it's gonna go many ways, but we're either gonna have to fight our way out. Yay.
Oh, so if you succeed well enough and disrupt whatever their plans are, the goblin should disperse. Because whatever's holding them here is in that place.
Yeah, right.
Were you expecting mounted combat?
Well, she's taking the horses with her.
Well, yes, but are we planning to drop off the horses and continue on foot, or?
You know, she's expecting you to continue on foot because she doesn't want the horses butchered just because you showed
You
up.
can't take horses.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Well, in
no,
that
because
case,
they have the.
And she says that the wolf is fine because they like wolves, they don't like dogs, and he's definitely not a dog.
Right, that's fine. I'll use my short bow on the way on horseback and swap to longbow when we get there.
You should have told the goblins who set him on fire in Sandpoint last time that. Thank you very much, guys. Pardon?
Yes.
Wasn't one of them
They
there.
will see it.
It was someone else's wolf, so of course they tried to set him on fire.
Yeah, I know.
So she said 10,000 goblins.
Yep.
Yep, at least. Hard to tell because they fight.
That's 10,000 goblin warriors. Is there like a baggage train or retinue along with it too, or?
No, they've got their priests providing food, which is also unusual. Okay, I think there was something specific
Children?
in children. They do have the entire clans here, so
Right.
they do have kids here as well.
So lots of cages too. We should open them.
Lots
Let
of
them out.
cages.
Why?
Because that's how you get a me.
Okay. Do we want more use?
Better than more them.
Yeah. I guess so.
But the cages are also potentially going to be sacrificed as part of their war march.
I don't like that.
Well, if you disrupt their ceremony, then they might not be sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
What else was going to be sacrificed, sorry?
Anything not going to war with them.
Oh. Oh, okay. Then how are they going to reproduce?
It's goblins. She says that doesn't ever make sense.
Yeah, okay. So they're basically trying to commit genocide on themselves.
They are under the sway of some demonic presence that's worse than them,
Right.
which has them all coming in one spot under the guidance of their goddess Lemastu. At which point she hands you a medallion of Lemastu. As it's wearing this, will at least have them talk to you.
Don't want to know where she's got that from.
Oh, it's still a bit bloodied.
Yeah.
Goblin blood.
I'm not surprised.
It's better now.
Prestidigitation?
I think so.
She's don't worry. She's made sure the taint of the god has been washed away in goblin blood. It's no longer an unholy symbol in her eyes.
Right.
Fair enough.
Still an unholy symbol though, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, it's been bathed in the blood of the followers of the god. Generally not a good sign.
Doesn't it make it more powerful?
For some god, yes. Okay. And she wishes you luck and starts to head off before it gets too dark and the goblins have more of an advantage in seeing you.
Yep.
As as she says, when you get near the border, she'll just pepper you from a distance.
Thank you.
So kind.
Yep.
Can't believe I'm the only one excited about this.
You're the only one most likely to survive.
I hear killing goblins.
Yeah, well, you get halfway into something.
Later.
Oh.
Kill goblins after we succeed.
Okay, so you're about she drops you more than a mile from the goblin encampment,
Makes sense.
and that way she can come sweeping in and attack you when you get closer.
Yep. Alright, I'll swap back to longbow and stuff.
Do you find it amusing that the trait of a longbow is cannot use while riding?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's bigger than the horse.
Technically it's bigger than me, but I can use one because of mechanics, kind of.
That's the only reason I would never use a bow.
Supposedly this longbow is like, what, 5
Bigger than you.
Yeah, it's bigger than me. 'Cause I'm
Pull it sideways.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be funny to see.
That's what you've been seeing every time he fires it.
I don't know, it's still funny every time. Actually, no, half the time I'm already well weighted into battle. I don't actually see him pull the bow,
No, I'm
generally.
Probably why I don't show everyone.
And he's also spending all that time, powering up first, so the first shot's always a killer.
Yeah, no, that's true, because you enhance your weapon, don't you?
You gotta make it count.
Yeah.
It's like, why does he always kill? Well, he has karma.
Hadouken. Wait.
Okay, so yes, after traveling through the wilderness for about 10-20 minutes, trying not to run into too many poisonous bushes along the way, give me a survival roll if you're leading.
Goblin hunt.
18. You managed to avoid all the poisonous bushes along the way, so you don't have too many rashes and swelling. Considering any place that goblins live, do they like to cultivate these sort of plants?
Natural defense.
Goblin hunt. Goblin.
And as you come into a rather large clearing from all these poisonous bushes around it, you see just 20 feet into the clearing a line of wolves with riders, all looking at you with spears ready.
Huh.
It's about 10 all up, and there are others behind them.
I take it we're running at this point?
This is you walking in.
Shalila hasn't started peppering us yet.
Oh, I was planning on just running in, yelling, "She's coming!"
Okay. As you yell out she's coming, an arrow goes straight through your shoulder.
Oh.
Misses any bone whatsoever. But you see the barbed bit sticking out the other side.
She's here! The worst part is as soon as Kroll sees that, he doesn't think of the arrow, he thinks about shooting his face.
Yeah, like, Shalila must have really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Okay, and they sort of give me a performance roll. So just how well you perform after these guys about natural 20.
Nice.
For a total of...
Is there a arrow in the shoulder bone?
Well, he does get a bonus for it.
I think the highest I have at the moment is +9.
For a total of 31.
31 and a
Yeah.
natural 20.
Because I've got 11.
So 31 upgrade. So yes, they charge right past you.
What have you got
Oh,
expert
wow.
in?
Okay.
Arcana.
Well, this way, they all recognize the arrows.
Yeah.
The only person in this region who they know who has barbed arrows and shoots at goblins is her.
Yeah, because at the level you can get a few upgrades.
Especially considering she also uses a certain arrow.
I must have missed that.
Which one?
The skill enhancement.
One skill got upgraded to expert, yes, I believe.
I didn't do that. Okay.
It's all listed under ranger.
No, I must have
Or
just skipped.
barbarians.
Yeah, she
Because
mentioned
I've done everything else.
Would you take a level?
Well, you can't swap levels. You always take it in the same thing, so it should be under because you are
Ranger.
ranger.
No, I think everyone gets.
No. I just like I was looking
So
through.
level 3 is general feat, iron will, and skill increase.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, I missed that skill increase because I've done everything else. I took the iron will and the what was the other one?
Yeah.
The feat.
Yeah, general feat.
Yeah, so you should have at least something that's good at level at 11.
Okay, so it would make sense for me to do go from trained to expert in athletics because that's my highest score anyway.
Unless you
increases
want
it by
to change like your nature or something.
I'm also trained in nature.
Because there are certain feats that will give you more bonuses based on your level of training. So that's where you go, I want this and then I want that.
Arcana.
Is it ranger?
Magical things, give me.
Yeah, so see here, general feat, which is where I took the ancestral paragon, iron will, and skill increase.
Every class
forgot
has the
the
skill increase.
I forgot the skill increase.
Though I believe rogues get extra skill increases.
Yes.
And
It's silly.
Rogues are still monkeys.
rogues know everything.
And that can be anyone from trained to expert.
Or anything untrained to trained.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, okay. So it'd either be worth, doing nature or athletics.
Yep.
Because
Is
nature is +6 and my wisdom is not horrible, but
Well, if you really want to keep showing up, Willie.
Athletics.
athletics would be the one to go. Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
I can decide that later.
This whole cavalry of wolves go flying past you.
Yep.
With one of them collapsing right next to you. Arrow sticking right between its eyes.
Oh.
The wall.
Yep. It's sort of staring at the arrow and not moving. Has that look of surprise on its face?
I died.
Dead.
And yes, but behind it you can see what appears to be a goblin of unusual size. He is a medium size goblin.
Yep.
And he's
Doesn't
not.
look like he's got any fat on him whatsoever.
Whoa.
And he's not a hob.
He's a goblin.
Right.
His body is covered in scar tissue.
Wow. Okay.
And he's on the ground too.
I know, he's walking towards you.
Cousin of yours?
Get behind the walk.
He sort of looks up and arrow comes down and
Wink. All right. Well, you can stay out here. I'm cowering.
when he drops the arrow, you see the blood lines through his hands where he caught it.
Hi. Who are you?
I am Chief.
Chief
Chief
of.
Goblins.
Do you really expect more from your kin?
You put all these stats into strength.
Perry has
trying to
big
reach
ideas if
plan
push
I said
comes
I was
to
in.
shove. Perry has so many ideas
the
if
warp
push
code?
comes to shove.
Chief. Goblins.
I'm of the Warp Toad. Nice to meet you.
What?
My Goblin.
Goblin.
Goblin allies.
Chief of Goblins.
Here to fight. Not her though.
Right.
She's scary.
He starts pulling out a weapon as you say fight.
Not you.
He looks disappointed.
Go war.
What? What?
Do you have priest? Where?
Priest. He points behind him somewhere.
Like towards the camp or just
He
vaguely off in the
just,
distance?
That away.
That away.
it's more up than backwards. But,
We go find priest. Get good goblin
he
healing.
sort of looks at you. He just grabs the arrow and snaps it and then yanks it out.
No, instead of out, it's like crawl.
But at least you stepped the head off first.
He's clearly well practiced.
Why is not smart?
Yeah, I'm not
So
even sure.
he's muscly.
Yeah.
Just says nice muscles.
He just admires your muscles back.
Fair enough.
His muscles are almost as big as you. For a goblin.
Yeah.
So
Parry
you're the
shaking
only
his
one
head
that
at the
can't
lack of
speak goblin, right?
intelligence.
No, I can't speak
really?
Goblin either.
No. I can't speak Goblin.
I can't speak Goblin.
I can.
Fix that.
As far as you can tell, he doesn't speak goblin that well either.
Oh.
But I'm wondering if I should even bother trying to bandage you at this point, because wouldn't they be suspicious of someone who's too skilled?
And you see another goblin in covered in animal skins coming towards you, with a big stick covered dangling with various skulls of various small mammals.
Oh, here comes trouble.
He's your healing stick.
I'm guessing like Goblin Shaman or something like that.
Hi, I goblin lick toad.
He just looks at you.
Faithful of Lamashu?
He frowns in your direction. Yeah. Okay then, I give you healing in honor of the master. Starts shaking stick
You
towards you.
don't have to.
Smacks you in the head when you say that.
Save it for goblin who really need healing.
Smacks you in the head again.
Yes, sir.
I mean, as a medical professional, I'm kind of liking this style of healing.
And then you sort of see coming out of his either side of the wound, smoke starts pouring out of his wound. As you see it start to the sound of burning flesh. As he seems to be holding it in, hits him in the head again and seems to intensify the pain.
I think everyone else would be just amazed. I'm going, Crow's going, oh, interesting, okay.
I was like, oh, I might try that next time.
And by the
form of
time
torture. Got it.
and by the time the healing's finished, there's just these two smoking holes on either side.
Oh, I've missed that. Good old gummy medicine.
The master fix everything.
Yes, yes, she does.
Who else needs La Master healing? She says, looking around, because you find out there's actually the female shaman.
I'm good, thank you. And don't worry, I've taken notes for later, so in case we ever need to do this again, we're all good.
Well, I gotta say, if you use that to fix like broken arms and stuff, they probably wouldn't get broken again.
Oh no, I just use that on you, because apparently it's the way you guys do it, so.
I'll really do it in the future.
And now you know why a lot of goblins in the area look like they're covered in a horrific scarring, because it's actually caused worse scar tissue than the actual wound itself.
Yes.
At this point, Duz is probably not even worrying about what's happening to him. He's just like flexing off with the other goblins.
The shaman just looks at the chief and just shakes her head.
Well, we are trying to fit in, so.
Chief
Parry's gonna show you how buffy he is when he flexes with
Chief
you
of
guys.
who?
She just looks at him. He calls himself Chief of Goblins. He not know goblin name tribe. If anyone says tribe name to him, he ends up hitting them in head.
Ooh.
Known as skull bashes, so he bashes their skull in.
Oh, so you got lucky.
He thinks you're requesting him do something if you name tribe.
Right.
So he's trying to figure out how to lick your toad.
Have you ever considered keeping a pet toad so you can help identify yourself to other goblins?
Got tattoo.
Did you show that to me?
Most of the lick toads do have toads that they lick, which give them hallucination properties.
You should bring toad with you.
I gave that stuff up.
Oh, okay.
You know, mostly.
It's also why they're intelligent.
He went to
shops a lot.
rehab.
He likes remembering who he is in the morning.
You know, sometimes you find plants in the forest and you've got to have try them. But, you know, mostly gave that up.
Just mostly.
Oh yeah, like the grubs you eat from under every rock you find.
like the wild axe beaks from the other Fridays.
Well, you guys didn't want the eels, and I ate the rest of the eels. Need grubs. Goblin allies. Here to help.
Looks at the.
Allies of Goblin.
Yeah.
I understand, Goblin. She says.
Well, I
I'm
hope
just
so, you're
checking
speaking.
at strange allies of Goblin. They look a little too clean for my liking.
Harry, clean since when?
Cleaner than goblins.
Don't worry, they've got worms in their tubes.
Oh, Harry's out then.
Well, I got head. This is all in goblins, so,
I understand this perfectly. This is the best bit.
And so, are you coming for feast? Or are you moving on to other tribes?
Do I know what that means?
You'll probably eat something horrific. Or you're only passing through.
I was planning on speaking with Chief of Thistledown. Thistletop?
Thistledown top? Thistledown down?
She sighs and says yes. Thistletop Goblin, big chief of chiefs. She sighs.
No good.
Rip Nugget is not as impressive, but smarter.
Rip Nugget who?
Rip Nugget of Goblin tribe of Thistletop. He rides his stickfoot lizard.
Nice.
She describes him like that.
That's cool.
It's very impressive.
That's cool.
So Rip Nugget is better than the Chief?
Yeah. She goes, nah, he got mind of his own, not better than you.
But you like him more than Chief? Not like him more than Chief. Ah, mind of own.
Mind of own. What point is chief if chief do own thing?
So is Rip Nugget the Chief? Or...
He's chief of chiefs.
Chief.
Right.
Chief.
The chief of head bashers is the one who doesn't know what clan
Yeah.
he's part of.
And the Chief of the Thistletop?
That is Rip Nugget.
Rip Nugget.
He's chief of chiefs.
Yep.
So Thistletop has taken charge of all goblins.
Do you know how long it would take to
Sorry.
You
You okay?
That was fun.
Are you okay?
Can we help?
He's got her ear things in so she can't hear us.
I'm looking for a ring.
A ring?
It's right under the bin.
I will pause for the moment and see. You'll go into a pause. There we are. Okay, so. Did you want to go back off to the.
Oh no, it's okay.
Okay, so yes, you have the option of heading off and seeing other tribes and making your way towards there. And she says you're looking to get to the War Chief Rip Nugget. So chief of chiefs. Yep.
These no speak real language. Translators?
You need translators.
They need translators.
Translator.
Translator.
She switches over to common and saying, "You know speak Goblin?"
I'll say in not as good
Them
common.
dumb.
No speak good goblin.
Goblin, never good goblin.
Then no speak goblin.
No speak goblin, she says looking at you.
Dooza probably just flexes.
It's in common.
Can you not see the languages in my biceps?
Yeah, pretty much.
And just shakes her head. Much like Chief.
Chief joins in.
That they are both doing it.
Points to Dooza.
They haven't stopped doing it.
Points to Dooza. Dumbest of party in Goblin.
Oh, so Party Chief.
Yes, party chief, yes.
Party Chief always strong. Yama's approach.
Hence why I only flex.
Dumbest party here. Carrot chief.
Usually having chief off with other chief.
Why do you think I'm
Chiefs
flexing?
always do chief off. Us goblin do real work.
Okay, so to use another conversation that was going to keep you.
Ask Goblin to perform and pray to do big brain.
Your tribe chief meetings would have been amazing. They'd pass the toad.
Literally, it is.
Lick,
Yeah.
lick, pass.
Yeah.
They call
Nothing
them
would
licking
get
bars.
done.
So
Everyone's
the
freaking
other
out
goblin
about
meetings
things.
in other tribes where they have goblin meetings, nothing gets done there anyway.
At least we introduced psychosis.
Now, who's that? The Goblin called Psychosis? Wait.
Yeah.
Obviously, the longest lasting goblin because it's a long name.
You don't get to meet psychosis until you lick toad.
I should lick Toad more often.
No, I think you lick enough toad for everyone.
Just,
Um,
she gives you a blessing in the name of the master with 2 or 3 swacks to the head. And then offers to give it to the rest of your party.
she's going to bless you.
I brace for impact.
You only get 1 swack to the head because you know it's important.
That's fine.
Perry only gets 1 swack to the head because he knows it's important.
Oh, what?
But Dooza gets a whole 5.
Whack, 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 whack.
Chief steps up to get his whacks. Because obviously he's more important. So he ends up with a whole 6.
No, I was like 17 or something.
He doesn't seem to notice how many he got. He just got whacked in the head. He was happy.
Yeah, I presume because I saw these guys getting whacked, I sort of just took it.
And she just pats Poppy on the head.
Swear I can fight out of the paper bag.
Thank you.
I can do the rest. I just needed the tearing.
Okay.
What's funny?
So,
No one can fight out of the bag. They're designed so you can't fight out of the bag.
harder to break from the inside. Okay, so yes, you are then given leave to head off deeper into the thing. She says it will probably take you about maybe 10 tribes to get there.
Oh,
Okay.
10 conversations? Oh,
How many tribes
God.
are there?
Oh, in the area there's 50 tribes. 10 tribes between here and Thistletop.
Then
Hopefully there's not 10 bops of different sticks.
always bobs and sticks.
Uh,
Gotta keep goblins.
It's not always
blessed,
6.
Compliant. Dumb.
I say in August to Dooza, watch your head.
That's okay.
So
I presume this is like non-lethal
Stop being
damage,
a dumb
so.
flex post.
do you guys want to like go through the rounds, or do we want to just try and make as direct a route to the big boy as we can?
I think Dooza needs more bops in the head.
I think wouldn't we want to fit in by going and do goblin-y things?
You've asked to speak to the Great Chief, so
Oh, okay. Well, so Dooza didn't know that because he doesn't speak goblin, so Dooza's just like, I'll follow you guys and get whacked a lot. Apparently, what is with that?
Blessing.
Oh.
Gotta keep goblins blessed, compliant.
Some need a little bit more of a
Brain
blessing than
damaged.
others.
The blessing involves removing
That face, Em. Some just need a little bit more of a blessing than others. It's a little bit more special.
And I think by the tone of your voice, I kind of get that you enjoyed seeing me getting whacked a lot.
It's okay.
Very
The
funny.
more wax you get, the more important they think you are.
Oh, okay, cool. So why did I get whacked lots?
Because you're important.
Okay.
You're the biggest, meanest, greenest thing around. You must be important.
Well, the chief was impressive, like his muscles.
Trying to whack some sense into my ways.
Yes, no, there are about 50 tribes. Make a direct route, we get to talk to 10 tribes. Or we can mingle.
Nah, I mean, nah.
Well, I don't understand anything, so I just flex.
How long would it take us to get to?
You'd probably think it would take you maybe half a day.
To get through? Oof. Okay.
And that's pushing it.
Yep.
So we get started.
So we get started.
Okay.
Spells did you pick up?
What spells did I pick up?
Yeah.
Bullet of Dust and Astara. What were you expecting me to pick up?
Just asking.
Something with fire.
I did. So, do you both want to be able to
Arrow.
understand, or would you like to be able to understand later?
I think understanding when we talk to the chief is more important than understanding with the locals.
Okay.
Okay. So the next tribe you come across, there is just one goblin standing out in front of the others. He looks fairly small compared to his friends, but he's got a spear about twice his weight.
Nice.
And the spear has all these runes carved up.
Oh, Parry's interested.
Respect.
What are the runes?
He does not have a single scratch on him.
What do
They
the
must protect the
runes
runes.
say?
Do you think anyone's pointed out that he's got writing on his spear?
You can see that quite a few of the people behind him have some form of scar on them. Barely visible.
Uh-huh.
Been broke. That's what fell.
So, he gestures you forward. He sort of looks at you. You're from a licked herd, aren't you? He says, in probably the smoothest goblin tongue you've heard.
Is it that obvious? Who gave it away?
The blotchiness around part of your head. Not from the hits you've had recently, but
Just general blemishes, are they?
yeah.
Right.
But most of those who lick toads a lot end up with it. Something to do with all those chemicals, he says.
Chemical's good.
Good to dip spear in, but not so good to lick.
It's a nice spear. Who are you?
I'm chief.
Chief.
I am. Can't remember all the different goblin tribes.
His chief so-and-so of what the name? His chief big spear.
He's one you know who's probably located more
Yes,
in the
yes.
Kamagar region of the
No,
Shanty lands.
Ah, the undead goblins. Got it.
We on way to see Whip Nugget.
He looks you up and down.
Any word? Advice? Hints?
No, but would like to see what happens.
Welcome to come with.
Watch distance, safer.
Is he scary? Surely a big goblin like you, no scare.
Beat me in fight.
Ooh.
Beat him in a fight when he's got this ruined spear like triple the size of him.
Yep.
Jesus.
You fighting with spear?
Yes. Spear went straight through, didn't take him down.
I might be in trouble, hey.
Harry's got a challenge on his hands.
Magic not work right on him.
Well, meet Doozer. Orcish
Oh.
goblin.
Your token chief, he says.
Token chief.
Is this
Must have worked well on skull bashes.
Very impressed. Very impressive. And
Green dervish.
do you like indicate Dooza to like flex or just like
No.
have me standing there hearing my name
no, I walk up and I present Dooza.
and I probably flex.
And not just broken chief.
Yeah. Token dumb fence post.
Harry, buffest wizard known to man.
Look you up and down.
Shows
He says, seen pictures of someone like
Many people have. They're probably in very Goblin.
Kamaga has gallery. You're featured in gallery.
I feature in gallery.
Or at least someone who looks like you features in gallery.
You should see
Stanley.
Riddleport gallery.
Not gone that far. Crazy goblins over there.
Report's not that far.
Wouldn't say crazy, but very interesting.
They like to live in cities.
Must be crazy. Goblin living in the city.
Ah.
And the city lets them. His exposed hands are going, what's the world come to? Goblins accepted in the city.
you do realize they keep burning their own tenement down, right?
Except it is, you know,
A loose term.
He goes, at least they're still a goblin.
they make food in city.
I'll take the plastic.
And Kroll. Here
He
to
just looks
fight.
at you. Are you a goblin or an elf? No, he doesn't say no, he just says goblin.
Haven't decided.
No, he says, at least you're not all elf.
Can't help bad luck.
Well, at least he's the right size.
So you're saying this in common as well? Or?
I assume he was talking Goblin.
Goblin.
Oh, Goblin, then I wouldn't have understood.
This is the best game. The two of us know.
This is why when Quest came to like present Dooza, the Dooza just flexed because it's pretty much what I said on
All you heard was
yeah.
I probably looked at
And-
one of you guys and be like, what do they say?
But his version of goblin sounds very much like Quest's version of goblin.
Probably the only thing I can understand is my name because I probably heard Quest say my name like
When
that
you learn to
before.
speak,
Kamaga.
makes sense.
Left when they started killing goblins. The
Like
anime.
food.
Didn't want to be animated.
I got there after. Damn parents. Not fun.
At least they'll be busy.
Now it's never something they had trouble with.
You're running on empty, need more.
I am empty and need more.
Well,
That should be your last.
It'll be Mars.
anyone else have questions?
What bring you here?
Gathering of chiefs.
Gathering of chiefs.
No chief who comes here doesn't get to live out the season. Who doesn't come here? When God decreed come here or die, you come here.
You choose to come here? Or you
Didn't want to come here.
I was about
Got
to say,
told to come here or die.
So you forced to come here.
No, I didn't have to come here.
Obligated.
I got told to come here or die. I could choose to die, but I don't really like to die. So I chose to come here.
Always a choice.
Always a choice for goblins. Goblins not always recognise choice, but always a choice.
You say God sent a decree.
Yes.
How'd you get it? In dream?
Shaman got vision. I got vision. Didn't like vision. Let Shaman tell everyone about vision.
What's
What's
shaman
vision?
here?
Shaman didn't survive telling everyone of vision.
Ooh.
People unhappy with vision took out our Shaman, which is why I asked Shaman to tell people.
Should always shoot the messenger.
Goblins not like messages. Sounds too much like writing.
You going to feast?
Not particularly hungry, because have to rely on other tribe because our Shaman got eaten.
Shaman was feast.
Shaman was feast many turns ago.
The shames
What's
have been
today's
provided.
feast?
Today's feast is ask tribe for food. Shellbashers probably not best to ask, but crotch grabbers not so much better.
Okay, we've got to find the crotch grabbers again.
He points further south, saying, not the direction you're going. Crotch grabbers that way. They don't differentiate well.
Should ask Nick Toads for food.
Lick toads not this side either, but lick toads have a habit of swallowing toads and choking.
Yes.
And other goblins sit and watch because it's fun.
Yes. But then,
Probably would sit and watch too, because it sounds like fun.
It's like, will he hallucinate before he dies? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Sometimes both. Hallucinating while he dies.
No, well, the dying's going to happen either way.
Ah.
So, he's
Cool,
happy
I'm getting
to
some goblins here.
walk you closer to Thistletop, because he might actually get free food along the way.
Yep.
That most of the other tribes know Hishaman didn't quite make it.
As we leave the camp, Quest reaches for one of his belt pouches, pulls out some rations, and hands him some rations.
Pyro was going to do the same.
He munches on it, and he leads you through the next couple of tribes. Most of them don't really want to talk to him because apparently he talks too well for a goblin, and he carries a spear that most of them are afraid of.
Yeah.
It's got writing on it.
Oh, can I read those runes?
They are in Thassilonian.
I can read it. But that's it.
But you're not exactly sure exactly what it means, even though you know it's Thassilonian. It's something along the lines of death and final and permanent and along those sort of lines.
This spear will end you.
Yeah, I was
Well,
about to
the
say.
thing is that because you know words, what the word individually words are, you don't know what they mean when they connect together.
No, and that's fine. Like, because it is pretty much a dead language.
Well, it obviously doesn't work then, does it? Because if some of these...
Listen, this goblin's probably using the blunt end of the spear, okay?
Oh, and that's how he's
Well, he
scarring
said he
them.
put the spear through someone and they didn't die. He was very disappointed.
Right, yeah.
He's probably holding the sharp end and whacking someone over the top of the head with it.
Yeah.
You guys are speaking common, right? Quest goes, you
Yes.
speak common too, right?
He says, yeah.
Hmm.
And 6 other languages, he says.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Awkward.
I'm going to start speaking in Orcish. Maybe you understand what I'm saying.
Give me a perception roll.
Perception. 22.
Yep, he's following every bit of it.
Beautiful. So he knows Orcish.
Great.
Doozer.
Well, yeah, probably at this point I'm only speaking Orcish. I mean, I gotta look the
Do you know
part, right?
Orcish?
No, I know Elven, Gnomish, Common, Varisian.
Who did
You're
I
painful.
did I
Yeah,
teach
but
you
not many people know
Orcish?
Elven or Common. So Elven or Gnomish. So.
Did I
I-
teach
I
you
know-
Orcish? Or I thought I taught someone
You
Orcish.
didn't teach me Orcish. I got it from being a wizard.
I
It
think
might have been
Willie.
Willie.
You taught Willie Orcish. That makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah, no, okay, yeah, that I knew I taught someone Orcish.
Yeah, because you'll be buddies after you had your first smack fest.
Yeah.
Well, you've been enjoying every Smackfest since.
Oh, so have I. So
You're a
have I.
bitch. Psh, no, you're a
The
bitch.
assumption is that Willie's traveling with you as well, so
Yeah.
I just left him in the
Yeah.
background at this
Yeah.
stage. Okay, so
I guess.
Oh, we should be introducing Willie as
Goblin staff.
second chief.
No, but he doesn't have the muscles that I do.
Doesn't
Willie's
matter.
shaman.
Oh, shit.
Shaman. good old dragon style.
Why he shaman? He got attacked by a cat and survived.
No, Wobberjack.
He does have impressive scars.
Yeah.
Oh, do the goblins know of the Wobberjack?
Yes. I've heard about it.
Yeah, so
The legend has grown.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so you say he survived Wobberjack, he's shaman.
Survivor of Wobberjack.
No, Quest definitely wrote a small ditty that's been very popular in the pubs.
They've been told that the Wobberjack protects him.
Yeah, that's kind of fair.
Which is why they heard about the Wobberjack.
Well, I mean, because the Hell Knights are still in Sandpoint, aren't they?
How long meeting go for? In Goblin.
Which meeting?
Meeting.
Cheap
All
meeting.
goblins.
He looks at you going. He looks at you saying, he not learned of them, has he?
Can't comment. But I think he's asking how long before, you start the sacrifices and go to war.
Oh. Macebill says he pats you on the hand saying, you should read more. He says that goblins are waiting for seasonal moon.
Seasonal.
And when moon red in sky, time to go kill everyone.
How long till the next blood moon?
It's due within the month. It's taking them 6 months preparation time. Which for goblins is.
Well, I was about to say, I was that was my next question. How long have you been here?
So they started gathering after the Battle of Sandpoint.
Which was like 6 months ago.
6 months since.
No one knows us. No one knows us. No one knows us.
Okay, so you managed to make it through with him
I wonder if
and
Margot's in here somewhere.
She probably is.
quite possibly. You find there are a couple of bugbears amongst the goblins, a couple of hobgoblins here and there. None of them in any sort of position of power. Mostly they're bodyguards of chiefs.
Bodyguards of chiefs.
Yeah, because didn't like almost all the goblins get wiped out?
Their civilization got wiped out.
Yeah.
And the bugbears never really had a civilization, they just hire onto the be bruisers for people. You feed them, you give them money, they're happy.
Yeah.
They get to beat someone up, they're even happier. And so you meet a couple of shamans who use magic. Chiefs who seem to be specialised in magic. Chiefs who look more along the lines of ninjas. A couple of them who have very animalistic traits. So you've got this broad range of different chiefs along the way.
Different tribes, different chiefs.
But the closer you get to Thassilonian, the smaller the tribes seem to get. The bigger tribes are out protecting the group.
That makes sense.
Which you really want to try to shove all the big tribes in the centre.
The first chief of we met who called himself the Chief of Goblins, what was his name? Skull?
No, he doesn't. He's the chief of the Skull Bashers.
Skull.
But anytime anyone says Skull Bash to him, he hits them in the skull.
So was his name Skull Basher, or is that just kind of
No, his name
coincidental?
was Chief. He didn't give
He doesn't seem to understand any other title.
Right.
as are a lot of other chiefs here. They are known as Chief.
Yeah. So, Rip Nugget is unusual for having a name.
Well, most of them have names. It's just the one on the outside was just known as Chief.
Right.
Chief.
Because he was that dumb.
Chief. The reason why we're naming you Chief.
He got named for the job he wanted.
Isn't that right, Chief?
It's like Sarge.
Yeah. So what's the name of the spear guy then?
Flex.
Did we get a name?
We didn't. It was Chief Bixby because
Chief Bixby will do at this stage.
there's 50 chiefs and
You can name
And
there's
there's
to name every chief.
There are more tribes
Bixby.
than there are actually in the region, so we'll just go with him. And having someone from Kalmagar was useful because you'll probably meet up with him later when we actually name him properly.
Yep.
But I'll write him down as Big Spear Chief.
He's called Chief Big Spear. They're not talking about the one he carries.
I don't want to know then.
Or do you, coming from Parry?
Actually, yeah, I do.
They're talking about the one that gets fired from the ballista.
Yeah, so we've been
the one
walking
that's
with him for
firing
like the last
ballistas?
half day, essentially. Yeah. As we're making our way through them.
So is your character actually from the Lictors?
I don't remember. It's written down in my other book.
I think you were.
You can be now.
So I think the Lictors actually came from the Sandpoint. And I thought you came from the...
Come from somewhere. But,
I thought you came from the Riddleport area.
well, yeah, no, the backstory is I was born somewhere else and I was picked up eventually.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so yes, as you're coming in here, you see that there are just a couple of different bonfires around here. It seems that they have most of their spellcasters have gathered in one area near the bridge heading over to Thistletop itself. And most of them are druids and sorcerers.
Shaman?
The shamans are all with the tribes, keeping them in line.
Oh, so shamans aren't spellcasters?
Well, I said most of their spellcasters are here, except for the shamans who are keeping their tribes in line.
Yeah. So, the spellcasters here are a amalgamation of different tribes. They're just here to guard the bridge as the last line of defense. Let's wait for them to get on the bridge and be easy targets.
And they do have a whole bunch of large creatures amongst them. You can see an owlbear, hippogriffs, griffins, all very feral looking.
What? Are live ones?
Yeah, like
How the hell do you tame those?
druids.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
They don't have to tame them, they just have to promise them to mangle things.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was about to say, are they familiars or are they more like...
They can be the equivalent of animal companion or simply just an animal that they have managed to convince to work with them.
I promise
You know what's
you'll get to
funny?
mangle things. You promise. You
I've
mangle the things
literally
I
been
need
thinking, it's
mangled.
like, oh, I'm poor as hell. I've got like 3 gold. I just flipped over the back of my sheet. I remembered that I have the 100 Chalaxian gold pieces.
Good job.
So I'm smiling.
Good job.
I don't really need that.
I probably have a lot of gold that I haven't... I need to go through my book and write down how much I actually have, because I'm not entirely sure, but it is all written down, so...
Okay.
Because that also counts as party gold as well. I think we've got about like 60 or 70 party gold.
Okay,
as well.
so you are met by a rather interesting looking goblin who has a flaming sword with a large cap behind him with orange stripes in his fur. Looks like that.
Ooh.
Ah,
That's
Ooh,
a pretty kitty.
Mm-hmm.
that's cool.
Is that a normal cat? Or
It does not look like a normal cat. It is well, it's called a fire-pelt cougar. It's a small cat, but it does look rather quite spectacular for what it is. Its fur literally glows. Well, just down those stripes.
yeah.
And he comes towards you, and the chief beside you.
So we still have Bixby.
You still have Bixby with you. He doesn't want to go much further than this.
Hi. Big-toed goblin. Allies of goblin.
He
Shall
looks
fight.
at you. He pulls your head closer, looks into your eyes closer, pokes you a few times, and then he licks the side of your face.
Next time.
I'm not the toad.
You can see him, and you know, and he goes, not pulling Nick Toad. Spent time with lictors, not born lictors.
Born orc.
No, not born orc. No orc in you. Spent time with orcs, not orc.
Oh.
Goblin.
Agreed, disagree.
Yeah, no, tastes like goblin. I always know what I taste.
Delicious.
Tastes like Thistletop goblin.
Nah.
No, Thistletop goblin.
How that?
Not sure. But carry Thistletop taste.
Right, well, who are you?
I am Godberg.
Godberg.
Godmert.
M-U-R-T.
G-O-G-M-U-R-T. Literally, Gogmert. And he pats the cat. This is my, this is Tangletooth as the cat bites his hand as he pats it. He doesn't seem to notice. He's got lots of scars on his hand.
So the Tangletooth is a fire cougar, right?
And he's a fire pelt cougar.
Or fire pelt.
So which tribe are you with?
Me no tribe.
Tribeless.
I work with Thistletop Goblin as advisor to Thistletop Goblins with all other magic. Magic, best magic.
Wait, is this common or just goblin?
He's saying he does translate the common for you.
Oh, okay.
You can see that there are people here who speak common.
Well, it's nice to meet you. We here for big fight.
You want to have big fight?
We're here to help with the big fight.
You get vision?
No.
Why are you here then?
Here of Goblin Army.
Goblins not talk about big fight.
Goblins don't.
How you know about big fight? He says, looking at you.
Goblins were summoned?
10,000 Goblin warriors in one spot. They're definitely not amassing.
10 what?
10 goblins.
Oh.
Many lot goblins amass for big.
Goblins come, yes.
Why goblins amass if not for fight?
A what?
Hungry.
You can sort of see Big Spear Goblin is trying not to laugh. He's trying very hard not to laugh. His face is smiling a lot. He's trying very hard not to laugh.
Help? Many goblin. One spot.
Goblins here, yes.
Why goblin gather if not? Why many goblins if no fight?
But tell people about fight. How you know?
Many goblins. Many goblins, ergo fight.
Where many goblin? Are you many goblin?
I think you're poking fun at me.
Give me a perception.
Nah.
That's a
23. By the looks of things, yes, he has been understanding absolutely everything you've been saying, and he's just been stringing you along the entire way.
Do you understand this one? Dick?
Oh, so you've met the Crotch Brothers.
No, thankfully.
We do have one of their shamans here if you'd like. He's a bear shaman.
I don't know, Parry?
Doesn't hurt.
Well, might.
Depends how
I
hard
don't know,
he
you into
grabs.
bears?
But he says not for a huge amount of time, no.
Not for
He
you.
generally recover after a month or two. Mostly.
Yeah, do you really want to know?
Just imagine looking
Yeah, for the most
behind
part,
this
I thought
guy
you
and
liked
seeing this
twins,
shaman
but do you
running around
like bears
grabbing
as
each
well?
other.
There is a reason why they're pushed to the outskirts of the tribes.
Crotch grabbers, also known as preventatives.
Well, they are one of the smaller tribes, you see. For obvious reasons.
Imagine if they needed to cast a ritual that's 10 minutes of crotch grabbing.
Not just their own.
Exactly.
But it is an interesting blood offering that they give.
No.
You sure, Perry? Once in a lifetime offer?
Well, they offer it daily, he says.
Yeah,
I
but
say
how many
Goblin.
times?
Willing for Crutch to be grabbed.
Oh!
He just looks at you and just shakes his head.
You sure? Willing to learn magical ways of crotch grabbers.
Goblins don't share magic easily with outsiders, he says in Goblin.
No.
Is that what? Ciders.
They
Outsiders,
don't
yeah.
share magic with outsiders very often.
Right, yeah.
They generally don't share their special techniques. Not that you won't witness it or can't guess it. They don't go out of their way to show it.
Can't be that hard, just a thumb and a forefinger.
They'll milk you like a cow.
They have done worse.
Can you imagine a book on the rituals of mysticism of crotch grabbing?
I'm sure you can write one.
If
in
they
the
use
cafe.
It's
Mage's hand,
part of the ritual! Mass mage's hand for crotch grabbing.
that's what the shaman uses, I think.
He does say to you, no, he turns his hand into bear paw, then grab crotch.
Huh?
Shaman turns hand into bear paw, then grabs crotch. That's how he does his spells.
Oh, he just turned his hand into a bear paw?
No, it's just the
No,
Shaman who does
so
that.
the shaman of the crotch grabbers turns his hand into a bear claw thing to cast his spells.
Right, okay. No, thank you, I'll pass on that.
And yes, his ritual casting involves bear claw grabbing genitals.
Crawl line. Crawl really interested.
This crawl, apparently he liked crotch grab.
I'm hoping this is all in Goblin still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry you already met, Buffer's wizard, known to man.
Wizard Strange, Wizard's Read.
Yes, but he not goblin, so don't have to worry about soul being taken.
Rule on reading goblins have been waived. Until after war. So you safe.
Don't know what you mean.
That's something I wish I heard.
Have heard of you.
My reputation precedes me. Fuck. Dooza!
Flexes because I'm getting pointed to again.
Fence post.
But yes, oh, Chief one of you.
Oh.
Says in Goblin. Pokes one of your flexing arms.
Get there eventually.
I say to Doozer and Orcish, they just called you a chief wannabe. Quiet, obviously, so hopefully they don't hear.
You do hear one of the goblins laughing.
Wannabe buff.
So, why you come?
Goblins, fight, here to help.
Yes. But you hear help fight, why you come? Fight not only reason. You read, you do magic. You're not summoned. Why you come?
I'd hate to have to lie to you. So
Well,
we're going
well, let's start with lie. Let's start with lie. All goblins try and lie to me. At least once.
Then what?
Well, if they survive, then they can try again later.
Guys, you're suggesting that if I lie to him, I might die. And he wants me to lie to him.
Lie to him, though.
Alright, but what do I say?
The truth. Then it's not a lie, but he doesn't know that, so then he might still kill you.
We're here to see.
We're here to find out why you're all summoned, rescue prisoners,
But you
and
said
stop
you're
the
not
fight. I wasn't summoned, you were summoned.
Yes.
I'm here to find out why you're all summoned, rescue prisoners, and stop the fight. Save many goblin life.
He looks you up and down. Don't take lie in you. You not lie well enough. He picks up a stick and hits you in the head. Try again. I said lie, not tell truth. You're not good goblin.
No such thing as a good goblin.
He's you in the head again. Good goblin know how to lie. Not lie well, but know how to lie.
Yeah, I don't know why you took advice from me trying to be a goblin.
You're not helping.
What if you've got a lie? You can make it elaborate.
It's the thing, I don't have a lie. There's no good reason
You
for
hit
me
in the
to
head
be...
again. Not lie.
We're here to help.
No, goblin must tell. He points stick at you. Goblin must tell lie, or not real goblin.
I'm here to
Oh, no.
stick with my stick.
That's alright, I'll do it.
He looks you up and down.
Go.
Behind
Wrong
the
to magic.
I don't know how to read, I can't use magic, and the only music I play is terrible.
Give me a deception.
Half of that is true.
One of them's true. You can't play. You can't play.
Spot the lie.
19.
19. Okay. He goes. He already knows you can read. He sort of pokes you on the nose with his stick. You're too good a liar. He just, feels very dispirited.
Well, why do you want me to lie then? I told you I don't want to lie to you.
Most goblins not lie good. You lie too good.
You like to.
Oh, so it's gone the other way now.
Well, he seems very put out,
You can't tell the truth.
and he seems to be moping a lot because of that. He like picking apart goblins' lies. You can tell he normally hits them in the head when they tells they're lying.
He's okay.
So if they don't lie, he hits them in the head. If they lie, he hits them in the head.
Okay. I have to lie to many people. Otherwise they think I am a goblin and can kill me.
Fair. You come for feast before go see Chief.
I was informed that go see Chief is feast.
You could be feast if you wish.
We'll avoid that.
Then best eat beforehand.
Eat beforehand.
So you see that they have got a whole heap of animals that they've summoned in for food.
Summoned in?
Where you get animals from the area to come to you.
Right.
That's a form of summoning. Not magically bink bink.
Yep.
Just once you kill them, then they go bink away again.
Yep.
Because they're making everyone else leave the animals alone. When your shaman says do something and you don't do it, you get hit in the head.
Surely they're used to it.
They are. But they don't like being hit in the head every day. Otherwise they might be like Chief.
That explains a lot. Medusa.
They've all heard about Chief. Chief got hit so hard in the head so many times, Chief became bigger and stronger.
fantastic.
What doesn't kill you makes you better.
I was about to say that's probably not a good thing.
Not for us anyway.
So you have a big meal of actually cooked food,
Way, not people,
and
which I'm disappointed about.
it's one of the tastiest meals you've had in a long time because it is wild game and cooked by people who don't want to get sick. We're probably the longest lived goblins in the region.
For a reason. Is Chief Bixby hanging out still, or is he vanished?
He's basically hanging out in this region because, well, most of them want to kill him too, and he likes to, show up to them and rub it in their face. He's carrying around words.
Yep.
But they will be told not to attack him. And so yes, you end up spending the night there and resting up. And well, not the night there. You spend a couple of hours there, and before it gets too dark, you're being given leave to cross the bridge towards the fortress across the out into the coast. It's about 70 feet across on a rickety rope bridge. But actually got the rope bridge spans the gulf between the cliff and around his flat-topped island 60 some feet to the north. Thick patches of nettles and briars grow here and there at the top of the island, but its most impressive feature is a one-story stockade. Two 30-foot tall watchtowers guard the stockade's southern facade. The rope bridge itself is made of hairy rope and thick wooden planks. The whole thing creaks and sways in the wind above the churning surf 80 feet below.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Just as excited.
What's the gap between the planks like?
Not much in the way of gaps, but you can probably stick a foot through it if you wish to.
What's the sway like? More like it.
Probably sways about 10 feet either side.
Oh,
Wow, nice.
And basically, the only thing holding it on the side you're on are two loops around poles that they can just lift off and drop.
Yeah.
Because that's their safety.
yeah.
Got handrails, or is it?
It does have handrails.
That's an improvement. I'm surprised they even know what WHS is.
Just gonna make sure I have featherfall.
Well,
Just because we're a race of savages doesn't mean we don't know what we're fucking doing.
well, doesn't all of it is done by goblin work that you recognise is actually very neat, very well maintained. And even though it's old, it looks like it's been looked after for a long time. And the posts themselves, the wood is old and maintained.
So is it pre-goblin?
Well, goblins have been here for a long time.
Hey,
Made
Just
for,
you
made
remember-
for goblins.
goblins are like the only race that survived the Skyfall.
This is too many of them.
Well, they pretty much survived the Skyfall with their civilization intact.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have much of a civilization before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and considering it is pretty much 10:30, that might be a good point to stop as you get ready to cross the bridge.
Oh, it's 10 already. Wow.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put this on end credits, and then that way Peter can join in next week when you find out what happens next.